Assalamu alaikum everybody. Just wanted to give a happy Jummah shout out to all y'all and share something from this week's khutbah that I learned, alhamdulillah, and was really powerful, subhanAllah. So in the khutbah we were talking about how the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, when he received the first revelation, he went to his wife Khadija for advice because he was so overcome emotionally by the power of the revelation that he just received. And when she was using descriptions and characteristics to reinforce and affirm the Prophet ﷺ that this wasn't something bad that happened to him, that he wasn't in the wrong, she described him with a few characteristics. She said, for example, that you keep the family ties, you take care of everybody, you look out for everybody, and you stand up for every just cause, you honor your guests, you're very truthful. Like, she gave him a beautiful characteristics of a reminder. And like, this is the wife of the Prophet ﷺ. Like, no one's gonna know somebody else closer than like their parents, their wife, their siblings, their spouse, etc. So when she's describing the Prophet ﷺ, she knows him and she's describing him very accurately with things that make who he is. Now fast forward a few years later when Abu Bakr Siddiq is trying to leave Mecca, and as he's on his way out, he runs into a person who's kind of a self-identified critic of Islam. His name is Ibn Daghina. Now Ibn Daghina, he asks Abu Bakr Siddiq why he's leaving, because Abu Bakr Siddiq, radiallahu anh, even though he's a Muslim, he's like an amazing asset to the community and society. And so Ibn Daghina is like, Ila aina anti Abu Bakr, like, where are you going? And Abu Bakr says, I'm out of here, you guys have made my life so difficult. So Ibn Daghina becomes very concerned because Abu Bakr Siddiq is so valuable to his community, and he says to him, no, you can't leave. He says, Inna mithluka la yakhruj wa la yukhraj, that people like you should never leave, nor should you be made to leave. And the reason why he further qualifies why Abu Bakr Siddiq should not be made to leave is he says that you take care of everybody, you watch everyone's back, you keep the family ties, you honor your guests, you speak truthfully. Does this sound familiar? So the lesson from today's khutbah is that Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh wasn't just someone who said that he loved the Prophet ﷺ, but he actually loved him so much that two separate people, Khadija and Ibn Daghina, both described them the exact same way. And if you think about it, Ibn Daghina and Khadija probably never got together and talked about how similar Muhammad ﷺ and Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh were. This was just an example of how much Abu Bakr Siddiq emulated the character of the Prophet ﷺ. So the lesson in today's khutbah was that we should try to be like Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh in the way that he loved the Prophet ﷺ so much that his love was so true that he literally started to emulate him to the point where he was described just like him. So we need to ask ourselves, like, do our families, do our friends, our classmates, our coworkers, etc., our colleagues, do they describe us in the same way that they would describe the Prophet ﷺ? Obviously there's going to be a gap, but we got to try to close that gap.